In this video, we'll see how to uninstall an existing version of OpenSCD offline instance and how to install a newer version of OpenSCD offline instance, as well as how to run multiple versions of OpenSCD offline instances on your PC in parallel locally. So let's start with a brief introduction. The OpenSCD tool is a web application. You can run it locally. That's what we are going to see now. Depending on the project lifecycle that you're in an IC620 environment, you can basically make use of OpenSCD to be able to create an high-quality SCD file. Either it may be at the beginning of the project or even the project is up and running, you can still make use of OpenSCD to output a high-quality SCD file. The prerequisites has been explained in another video, but of course I can go through that. I will provide the hyperlinks in the description of this video. So you basically need the packages to be able to host OpenSCD offline using a simple web server. So first you need to download the simple web server and install it in your PC locally. And next you need to also download the latest release of OpenSCD package, which is available in the GitHub area, both the simple web server to host the OpenSCD web server instance, and of course the OpenSCD web server instance as a package available in the GitHub area. I have already downloaded the simple web server and have installed, and also I have extracted the OpenSCD offline instance resource file. I will show you by running the simple web server first. And here you can see the simple web server is already having the package uploaded, meaning that I have already deployed, created a setup, and I can able to even run the OpenSCD offline. So I do not have an internet access on my PC, and you can also see that I completely disable the intranet or LAN connection, also the Wi-Fi, and I do also not having the physical SIM on the 5G slot. So meaning that I'm completely running OpenSCD in offline, and you can also see here. So this is the publisher, which is having the localhost IP address. So next, why do I need to uninstall an OpenSCD offline instance, which is very important to understand? There are many different reasons or use cases. A couple of them are like, for example, there may be a requirement to go for a version upgrade. Let's say there is a newer version of OpenSCD that we do found on the GitHub area. Let's say I'm running an older version on my PC. Then I can basically erase the instance, and how to erase it or uninstall it completely. This is very important to understand. And maybe sometime we face plugin issues or duplicate plugins, and also let's say we are going for system cleanup. Somehow I lost this particular folder which I have already located. There are many other reasons as well. So let's go step by step how to remove the OpenSCD completely. Maybe another reason would be, so you might have launched OpenSCD online instance and then created an app to be used for offline use, which might be stored in the temporary folder in the cache, and you're also running OpenSCD offline instance in the web server. Then maybe there is a clash or another issue which created some problem in your OpenSCD offline instance. So let's go for step-by-step process. So I close the OpenSCD web application, and I also stop and quiet. And I also, to uninstall the OpenSCD properly, you go to the Start button, and then start with the simple web server. Make sure that the simple web server is already up and running for the previously located web server instance of your OpenSCD. And then you run your OpenSCD application. And then you go to the left side top menus, and then you go to plugins, and then you go further to reset all plugins which are enabled on demand by yourself. Then you go also by enabling the plugin beta store, because I have enabled this plugin and I wanted to make sure that all the plugins from the plugin beta store enable or install option, in case if I have already installed it, I do not see an option to directly enable from or install from this level. Next, I close this OpenSCD application, and then I go to cancel button, also stop and quit. Next, I go to start button, type installed apps. Here I can see on the Windows 11 or Windows 10 operating system, easily to be able to search OpenSCD. Then here I click the three dots on the right side, click on install. So the app has been uninstalled from the PC, and I have also noticed that the taskbar shortcut has been removed. Next, I can go to the simple web server. I click here. I also go back and then scroll down on the existing web server running, and I click delete server and confirm. So by doing this, I make sure that I removed the or disable the plugins and made sure that it went to default state. And then I also removed the complete web server instance of OpenSCD from the simple web server. Then I click quit and stop. Next, I go to the desktop, and here I host the OpenSCD offline package. I remove it. Then I go to downloads. I copy this one, or I cut. Then I go to desktop, and then I go to OpenSCD, Control V, and right click, and I extract to this folder. So I have to go inside this folder, packages, distribution, build. So till I reach the HTML file locations, JSON files, I have to go then copy, and then I minimize, and next I go to the simple web server, create a new server, choose the folder, enter, and make sure that you don't select these folders. You just need to select the root folder here on the top up to the build, and then select folder. Create a server, click here, and then click the URL, and you're running the OpenSCD completely offline. Of course, you can install the OpenSCD as an app locally to be used, and click install button. Now I can also host OpenSCD and my taskbar. Also, I can access the OpenSCD application from the Start button. That's fine. It's the same request. Then I close this. Or I can also go to the top left and I can make sure that I can enable the required plugins. I can also go to the plugin store beta. If you don't see the plugin store beta, you can of course go to the plugins and then enable the plugin store beta plugin. Then you can install and enable all the plugins. Close. Further, you can go to plugins, the main plugins, then you go for the required plugins that are going to be used by you frequently. And for me, cleanup, publisher, network explorer, communication explorer. Of course, I'm interested also in the data binding and single line diagram as well for message and data for goes and sample value. And this is good enough for me for now. So we are running one of the OpenSCD offline instance now. Next, how do I run multiple versions of OpenSCD? So I have downloaded the OpenSCD current instance, which is running or hosted on the GitHub page from OpenSCD team. I have downloaded this and I go to the download section, copy this, then move it to desktop. And then I also go to the same location and I extract this to a folder. Then I go to the master. So here I see the index to OpenSCD, and then here is the source file. Of course, the root folder is outside, and I copied this one and go to the simple web server, and I go to a new server, and I choose this folder, Control V. So select the folder and create a server. So we are running now a multiple instance of the OpenSCD. I click the second one and I go here, and you see already we are running another OpenSCD instance on a different port. Of course, I can also access different settings which I can able to customize, and of course I can also install this particular OpenSCD instance as an app which can able to access on a different port. So the point is, it's recommended to run one version of OpenSCD which you really like, are comfortable with it. Of course, running multiple instances may create some issues as long as you have the clarity and it serves the purpose to run multiple instances of the OpenSCD, you're good to go. But running single instance, which is a stable release that you can download from the releases section on the main GitHub page where we release or see the releases by the OpenSCD team, is also highly recommended to host it by downloading it. And you can use it because it's tested, and the other one and the front end on your own risk. You can also download the latest code component and the package from here, also host it. In case if you would like to create feedbacks, you are welcome to go to the issues section in the OpenSCD GitHub page and create your wishes, feedbacks, and the team will be happy to take care of it. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.